Our story begins long ago, in the ancient and powerful Persian Empire, a vast kingdom that stretched from the shores of the Mediterranean all the way to China. The empire was ruled by King Shahriman, a legendary warrior known for his courage in battle and his fairness toward his people. By his side stood his trusted advisor and brother, Nizam. The happiest day in King Shahriman's life was the birth of his two sons, Garsiv and Tus. Years later, while walking through the streets of his kingdom, the king notices his soldiers beating a young street thief. What truly catches his attention, however, is another boy who bravely steps in to defend him. That boy's name is Dastan. Dastan escapes and leads the soldiers on a wild chase across rooftops, showing incredible agility and skill as he leaps, climbs, and knocks them down one by one. Despite his talent, he is eventually captured and brought before King Shahriman, who witnessed everything. When the king asks Dastan about his family, the boy sadly admits that he is an orphan with no parents. Moved by Dastan's courage and spirit, King Shahriman makes a life-changing decision. He adopts Dastan and raises him alongside his two sons as a Prince of Persia. 15 years pass, and the Persian Empire stands stronger than ever. King Shahriman leads his army on a campaign toward the legendary holy city of Alamat. Upon arrival, Prince Garsiv argues that the city should be invaded, claiming its people are traitors. Tus, however, reminds him that their father considers Alamat sacred and forbade any attack. With the king absent, Tus calls a family council to decide. He summons Dastan, who is busy fighting in the combat arena, and brings him to the meeting. During the discussion, their uncle Nizam reveals shocking news. Alamat is secretly producing powerful steel weapons and selling them to Persia's enemies who are plotting to destroy the empire itself. After careful thought, Tus agrees with Nizam and decides that Alamat must be taken by force. Dastan tries to argue that the innocent people of the city should not suffer and suggests punishing only the traitors, but Nizam insists the solution isn't enough. In the end, Tus orders the invasion. That night, the Persian army launches a massive assault on Alamat. Inside the city, the vizier rushes to warn Princess Tamina. Furious and proud, Tamina orders that the gates must never be breached, no matter the cost. Alamat has stood unconquered for over 1,000 years. Meanwhile, Dastan leads a small unit toward the city's rear gate. His goal is to capture the city without slaughtering its people. Using his acrobatic skills, he climbs the walls, shoots ropes down for his men, and silently takes out the guards one by one. But the noise alerts Tamina, and a fierce battle erupts. Leaving his men behind, Dastan races across the walls and finally reaches the gate, managing to open it. Tus is shocked by how easily the gate falls and orders his army to storm the city. Horrified, Dastan realizes Tus intends to wipe out everyone inside. Desperate to stop the bloodshed, Dastan knocks over a massive container of burning oil and ignites it, creating a wall of fire that blocks the advancing army and halts the massacre, at least for the moment. On the other side of the city, Princess Tamina opens a hidden chamber and retrieves a mysterious bag. She hands it to her loyal vizier and orders him to take it somewhere safe and protect it with his life. The vizier obeys immediately, but before he can escape, he runs straight into Dastan. A fierce fight breaks out between them, but Dastan easily overpowers the vizier. When the dust settles, he notices the strange bag lying on the ground. Curious, he opens it and discovers a beautifully crafted dagger unlike anything he's ever seen. Without knowing its true power, Dastan takes the dagger with him. After Alamat falls, King Tus goes to meet Princess Tamina. The moment he sees her, he is stunned by her beauty. However, Nizam quickly steps in and accuses her of supplying weapons to Persia's enemies, declaring that she must be executed. Tamina argues back, pointing out that if her city truly manufactured such weapons, they would not have been defeated so easily. Tus ignores her logic and instead offers her a choice: marriage to him or death. Tamina immediately refuses, until she notices the dagger hanging from Dastan's belt. Realizing its importance, she agrees to marry Tus on the condition that her people be spared. When they return to Persia, Tus angrily confronts Dastan for acting on his own during the invasion. He demands the dagger and claims it as a gift meant for their father. Before the argument can go any further, Nizam interrupts them, announcing that King Shahriman has returned and they must prepare to welcome him. King Shahriman arrives shortly after, deeply disappointed to learn that Alamat, a sacred city, has been invaded. He scolds Tus harshly, warning that this act will make Persia's allies fear and distrust them. Tuss apologizes and explains that Nizam uncovered evidence of betrayal within the city. Enraged, the king orders Tuss to leave the capital until he can bring proof of these accusations. Before leaving, Tuss secretly meets with Dastan and gives him a ceremonial robe as a gift for the king. He asks Dastan to present it on his behalf and urges him to convince the king to approve the marriage to Tamina, or kill her if the king refuses. That night, a grand celebration is held. King Shahraman publicly praises Dastan, calling him the only one who used his mind to stop the war before innocent lives were lost. Honored, Dastan presents the king with Tuss's gift. The robe is revealed to be a magnificent royal garment, and the king happily wears it. Moments later, Princess Tamina enters the hall. The king, impressed by her presence, announces that she will marry Dastan instead. Tuss is stunned. He wanted her for himself, but he cannot defy his father. Suddenly, the king begins to struggle for breath. The robe tightens around him, poisoning his body. Before anyone can react, King Shahraman collapses and dies in front of the entire court. Chaos erupts. Everyone believes Dastan is responsible, assuming he poisoned the robe. Branded a traitor, Dastan is forced to flee as the guards chase him through the palace. In the middle of the confusion, Tamina escapes with him. Together, they leap into a fountain and disappear into the night. When Tuss learns of his father's death, he places a massive bounty on Dastan's head. On the run, Dastan insists on his innocence and tells Tamina the truth, that Tuss gave him the robe and must have planned the assassination to seize the throne. Tamina pretends to comfort Dastan, slowly gaining his trust, but her true goal is to steal the dagger. When she tries, Dastan notices, and a brutal fight breaks out between them. During the struggle, Dastan accidentally presses the jewel embedded in the dagger. Time suddenly reverses. The fight restarts again and again, as Dastan unknowingly rewinds moments over and over, until the dagger's sand runs out and time snaps back to the present. Shocked, Tamina reveals the truth. The dagger is magical, capable of reversing time, but only for a limited duration. Now that the sand is gone, it's useless, at least for the moment. Stunned, Dastan finally understands the dagger's true power. He realizes that Tuss likely invaded Alamut to steal it, planning to rewrite the past and rule the world alone. Determined to expose the truth, Dastan decides to return to his father's funeral and reveal Tuss and Nizam's betrayal. Tamina warns him that doing so will put their lives in danger, but she has no choice but to follow him rather than be left alone in the desert. As they travel through the desert valley, Princess Tamina collapses from exhaustion and thirst. Dastan rushes to help her, trying to wake her up, but suddenly, she strikes him and knocks him unconscious. It's revealed that she tricked him in order to steal the dagger and escape. When Dastan wakes up, he finds himself surrounded by armed men led by a ruthless slave traitor named Amar. Amar threatens to have his executioner behead Dastan unless he hands over any gold he's carrying. Dastan claims he has nothing of value but offers Amar something far more tempting, a beautiful princess in exchange for his freedom. Intrigued, Amar agrees. They track Tamina down and capture her, much to Amar's delight. He decides to take both prisoners back to his tribe, planning to announce his marriage to Tamina. However, once they arrive, Dastan notices that Tamina is secretly hiding magical sand inside a necklace. Angry at her betrayal, Dastan takes the sand and pours it back into the dagger, restoring its power. As punishment, he keeps the dagger for himself. Later, Amar invites Dastan to watch the tribe's famous weekly ostrich races. Terrified by the chaotic spectacle, Dastan tries to leave, but Amar orders his men to stop him. Amar reveals that he recognized Dastan the moment he saw him. Knowing about the bounty on his head, Amar plans to turn him in for the reward. Worse, Amar takes the dagger and orders one of his men to melt it down and sell it as scrap metal. Tamina sees this and immediately chases after the man carrying the dagger. At the same time, Dastan frees himself and catches up. He fights the guard, knocks him out, and retrieves the dagger just in time. Furious, Amar commands his men to hunt them down, but Dastan and Tamina manage to escape together. Disguising themselves, they sneak into the capital for King Shahraman's funeral. Dastan secretly writes a message to Nizam, asking for a private meeting to reveal the truth. He slips the note into Nizam's pocket and disappears before the guards notice. Nizam reads the message and agrees to meet Dastan in secret. During their meeting, Dastan explains everything, accusing Tuss of murdering their father. To prove his claim, He hands Nizam the bag that once held the dagger. But when Nizam opens it, he finds nothing inside except worthless glass fragments. Dastan is horrified. He realizes Tamina tricked him again and stole the dagger. As he tries to explain himself, Dastan notices something terrifying. Nizam's hand bears burn marks identical to those caused by the poisoned robe that killed King Shahriman. At that moment, soldiers appear, watching them closely. Nizam pretends to believe Dastan's story, but once Dastan turns away, he realizes the truth. Tuss is innocent. It was Nizam who orchestrated the king's murder to seize power. Dastan escapes just in time as Nizam orders the guards to arrest him. Now fully aware of his uncle's betrayal, Dastan is hunted once more. Meanwhile, Prince Garsiv, unaware of the truth, leads his forces to capture and kill Dastan. Using his parkour skills, Dastan evades the guards and confronts Garsiv in a brutal sword fight. Dastan begs him to listen, insisting on his innocence, but Garsiv refuses to believe him. The fight ends when Dastan disarms and knocks Garsiv unconscious before fleeing again. That night, Nizam meets with Prince Tuss and claims that Dastan attempted to assassinate him earlier that day. Enraged, Tuss increases the bounty on Dastan's head. However, Nizam has other plans. He visits a hidden sanctuary where the deadliest assassins in the land gather. Their leader, known only as the Hassansin, agrees to hunt Dastan down in exchange for a massive payment of pure gold. It is soon revealed that the Hassansin leader is not just an assassin, but a powerful sorcerer. Elsewhere, Dastan tracks down Tamina and forces her to return the dagger. He demands that she tell him everything she knows about its powers. Tamina explains that the dagger can reverse time, but only for short moments. When Dastan asks if there's a way to go further back, Tamina reveals a terrifying secret. Beneath the city of Alamut lies a massive sandglass filled with enormous amounts of the magical sand. If the dagger is plunged into it, time itself can be rewound to any moment. Dastan immediately realizes Nizam's true plan: to use the sandglass to go back in time, kill his brothers, and crown himself ruler of the Persian Empire. To stop him, Tamina suggests hiding the dagger inside a secret temple far from the city. Dastan agrees, and together they set out toward the hidden sanctuary, hoping to prevent history from being rewritten. On their journey toward the hidden temple, Dastan and Tamina are suddenly captured once again by Ammar and his men. This time, Ammar has no intention of bargaining. He plans to kill them both. Desperate, Tamina offers him a deal. She will lead him to a piece of pure gold in exchange for their freedom. Greed gets the better of Ammar, and he agrees. He decides they will camp for the night and head to the temple at dawn. As everyone sleeps, danger creeps in. The Hassansin unleashes a swarm of deadly snakes into the camp, intending to kill everyone. The snakes attack viciously, killing many of Ammar's men. Dastan wakes up just in time and activates the dagger, reversing time by a few moments. Now aware of the snakes' positions, he moves quickly, striking them one by one and saving the survivors. Shocked by what they've witnessed, Ammar realizes Dastan saved their lives. Grateful and terrified, he agrees to help them. The next morning, they arrive at the hidden temple. As Tamina steps forward to hide the dagger, they discover the temple guards have already been brutally slaughtered. Moments later, Prince Garsiv arrives with his army, determined to take revenge on Dastan. Dastan pleads with his brother and leads him inside the temple, showing him the bodies of the assassins sent by Nizam. Faced with the evidence, Garsiv finally believes that their uncle is behind King Shahriman's death. Suddenly, chaos erupts outside the temple. Assassin arrows rain down, striking Garsiv and killing him on the spot. Ammar's men fight back fiercely, but the assassins are merciless and cut them down without hesitation. Taking advantage of the distraction, Dastan and Tamina rush deeper into the temple to hide the dagger. Without warning, an arrow strikes Tamina, knocking her unconscious. Enraged, Dastan fights the assassins with everything he has. During the battle, the Hassansin uses dark magic to steal the dagger, hiding it inside a snake's body before ordering a retreat. One assassin refuses to withdraw, determined to kill Dastan, but Garsiv, with his final strength, saves his brother by killing the attacker before dying himself. Heartbroken, Dastan grieves for his brother as the Hassansin delivers the dagger to Nizam, extracting it from the snake's body. With the dagger now in his possession, Nizam's plan moves closer to completion. Dastan convinces Ammar that all of humanity is at risk if Nizam succeeds. Moved by the stakes, Ammar agrees to help. Together, They head back toward the holy city of Alamat. Upon arrival, they discover that Nizam's forces are digging beneath the city, trying to reach the sandglass. Through palace servants, Tamina learns that the dagger is being kept in the royal chambers. The group decides to steal it to sabotage Nizam's plan. Disguised as guards, they infiltrate the palace and silently eliminate the royal sentries. Ammar's fierce warrior faces off against one of the Hassansin in a brutal knife and arrow duel. After a savage fight, he kills the assassin, but is fatally wounded himself. With his dying breath, Ammar throws the dagger toward Dastan before collapsing. Dastan catches it and rushes to confront his brother Tuss, determined to finally reveal the truth. Dastan finds Prince Tuss and finally tells him the whole truth. He explains how their uncle Nizam manipulated everything and was responsible for King Shahriman's death. To prove his words, Dastan hands Tuss the dagger and urges him to press the jewel. Then, without hesitation, Dastan stabs himself in front of his brother. Horrified, Tuss activates the dagger, and time rewinds. Witnessing the miracle with his own eyes, Tuss finally believes Dastan and stops him from killing himself again. But before they can escape, Nizam suddenly appears and murders Tuss without mercy. He takes the dagger and orders one of the Hassansin to kill Dastan. Just in time, Tamina arrives and saves Dastan. Together, they kill the assassin and rush toward the underground tunnel leading to the sandglass. Tamina manages to open the ancient gate, but the ground beneath them collapses. Tamina jumps to safety, but Dastan is dragged down by the falling sand. At the last second, he escapes through another opening, only to find Nizam preparing to plunge the dagger into the sandglass. Dastan confronts his uncle, but Nizam overpowers him and throws him aside. When Tamina steps in to protect Dastan, Nizam strikes her down as well. Hanging from the edge, Tamina begs Dastan to let her fall and stop Nizam before all of humanity is destroyed. Refusing to abandon her, Dastan reaches for her, but she lets go, sacrificing herself. Devastated, Dastan races after Nizam, who has already placed the dagger into the sandglass. With everything he has left, Dastan presses the jewel first. The dagger's power erupts, and time rewinds once more, this time, all the way back to the moment before Alamat was invaded. Dastan rushes to his brothers and exposes Nizam's betrayal, revealing his plan to kill them and seize the throne. When Nizam attacks Dastan, Tuss steps in and kills their uncle for his treason. Ashamed, Tuss apologizes to Princess Tamina for attacking her sacred city and asks her to become Dastan's wife. Confused and unaware of the altered timeline, Tamina remembers nothing of their past together. Nervous but sincere, Dastan offers her the dagger as a gesture of trust. Shocked, Tamina demands to know how he obtained it and brings him to the royal chamber. There, she questions how she could ever marry a man who stole her most precious treasure. Smiling, Dastan replies that stealing is the least of his talents and promises to change the fate of her city forever. Moved by his honesty, Princess Tamina agrees to marry him. The dagger is returned to its rightful place, the timeline is restored, and peace is secured. And with that, the story of Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, comes to an end.